Linguistic connections, exploring relations between Igbo and languages around the world. The Igbo language, spoken primarily by the Igbo people in southeastern Nigeria, is a vibrant and tonal language belonging to the Niger-Congo language family, specifically the Volta-Niger branch. With over 20 million speakers, Igbo is known for its rich oral traditions, proverbs, and cultural significance. While Igbo's closest relatives are other West African languages, there have been discussions and claims about its connections to languages far beyond Africa, ranging from genetic linguistic ties to coincidental similarities or folk etymologies. In this article, we'll explore these relations, focusing on substantiated African connections and more controversial global claims, with examples of shared or similar words. Igbo's place in the Niger-Congo family. Igbo is part of one of the world's largest language families, Niger-Congo, which encompasses hundreds of languages across sub-Saharan Africa. Its closest relatives include languages like Yoruba, spoken in Nigeria and Benin, Edo, Nigeria, Ghana and Togo, Fon, Benin and Aja, Benin and Togo. These similarities arise from shared proto-languages and historical migrations within West Africa. For instance, Yoruba and Igbo, though not mutually intelligible, share cognates due to their common ancestry in the Volta-Niger group. Phonetic correspondences between Igbo and Yoruba are notable. In many cases, Igbo's GW or KW sounds correspond to Yoruba's W or GW, and Igbo's R often aligns with Yoruba's J. Here are some examples of similar words. Goat, Igbo, Ewu, versus Yoruba, Ewa. Turkey, Igbo, Torotoro, versus Yoruba, Tolotolo. Mouth, Igbo, Onu, versus Yoruba, Enu. Ear, Igbo, Nti, versus Yoruba, Eti. Chin, Igbo, Agba, versus Yoruba, Agbon. Nose, Igbo, Imi, versus Yoruba, Amu. Fever, Igbo, Iba, versus Yoruba, Iba. Hair, Igbo, Boro, versus Yoruba, Bo. Menstruation, Igbo, Nso, versus Yoruba, Osuosu. 3. Igbo, Ato, versus Yoruba, Eta. What? Igbo, Genie, versus Yoruba, Kini. Land, Igbo, Ala, versus Yoruba, Isle. Water, Igbo, Marie, versus Yoruba, Omi. Stone, Igbo, Okut, versus Yoruba, Okuta. Wind, Igbo, Afufe, versus Yoruba, Ifufe. Cold, Igbo, Oi, versus Yoruba, Oi. Corn, Igbo, Oka, versus Yoruba, Oka. Place, Igbo, Ebe, versus Yoruba, Ibi. Divination, Igbo, Afa, versus Yoruba, Ifa. House, Igbo, Ulo, versus Yoruba, Isle. Deity, Igbo, Elisa, versus Yoruba, Ariza. Game, Igbo, Uru, versus Yoruba, Air. Age mate, Igbo, Ogbo, versus Yoruba, Egbe. Slave, Igbo, Oru, versus Yoruba, Eru. Person, Igbo, Onye, versus Yoruba, Onion. Bag, Igbo, Akpa, versus Yoruba, Apo. Box, Igbo, Akpati, versus Yoruba, Apoti. These examples highlight how everyday vocabulary has evolved from a common root, though dialects and regional variations can alter pronunciations. Moving further afield in Africa, Igbo shares traits with Ibibio, spoken in southern Nigeria. For example, both use similar terms for bag, related to skin or leather, pointing to Bantu influences. Similarly, comparisons with Twi, a Akan language from Ghana, show overlaps in basic words, such as those for animals or foods, reflecting broader Niger-Congo ties. Controversial global connections. Beyond Africa. While mainstream linguistics limits Igbo's genetic relations to African languages, some researchers, cultural advocates, and online discussions propose links to languages worldwide, often based on phonetic similarities, migration theories, or ancient origins. These claims are frequently debated and not widely accepted by linguists, who attribute many resemblances to coincidence, loanwords, or universal sound patterns rather than direct descent. Nonetheless, they spark interest in Igbo's potential role in global etymology. One prominent theory connects Igbo to Hebrew, fueled by cultural narratives of Igbo Jewish ancestry. Proponents cite word similarities and shared meanings, often with interchanges like Hebrew's v, corresponding to Igbo's v. Here are examples from such discussions. First daughter, Hebrew, Ada, or Ada, versus Igbo, Ada, or Ada. Lion, Hebrew, Aga, versus Igbo, Agu. Market, Hebrew, Ahi, versus Igbo, Ahia. Grace, Hebrew, Amari, versus Igbo, Amara. Mad, Hebrew, Ara, versus Igbo, Ara. I, Hebrew, Aya, versus Igbo, Anya. Rome, Hebrew, Aziza, versus Igbo, Aziza. God knows, Hebrew, Chema, versus Igbo, Chima. Mercy, Hebrew, Eba, versus Igbo, Ibia. King Chief, Hebrew, Eza, versus Igbo, Az. Move on, Hebrew, Gaba, versus Igbo, Gaba. Go to the beginning, Hebrew, Genesis, versus Igbo, Genesis. Let them go, Hebrew, Hagaba, versus Igbo, Hagaba. Well done, Hebrew, Salu, versus Igbo, Dalu. Leave it, Hebrew, Rafu, versus Igbo, Rapu. Follow, Hebrew, Sobi, versus Igbo, Sobi. Wealth, Hebrew, Ubal, versus Igbo, Uba. Please answer me, Hebrew, Zam, versus Igbo, Zam. These are drawn from community forums and cultural analyses, but skeptics argue they stem from biblical influences on Christian Igbo communities rather than ancient ties. Broader claims extend to European, Asian, and ancient languages. For instance, some suggest Igbo roots in English words like man, Igbo, Mmadu. Go, Igbo, Ga, Mi, Igbo, Mu, animal, Igbo, Anumanu, prayer, Igbo, Ekpere, look, Igbo, Lekeri, draw, Igbo, Doro, chair, Igbo, Oki, land, Igbo, Ala, Alandi, long, Igbo, Ogologo, fair, Igbo, Mfe, marine, Igbo, Marie, 6, Igbo, IC, fly, Igbo, Feli, rot, Igbo, Ritu, cock, Igbo, Okako, cut, Igbo, Kutuo, 9, Igbo, Itanani, create, Igbo, carry, cup, Igbo, eco, and I, Igbo, Anya. Connections to Chinese include suo, Igbo, suo, to shrink say t, Igbo, t, to put forward wa, Igbo, wa, to dictuo, Igbo, tuo, to cast off mo, Igbo, muo, to sharpen li, Igbo, light, to stand ji, Igbo, jide, to take hold ji, Igbo, ji, to point fei, Igbo, fei, to fly, mai, Igbo, mai, to bury, ni, Igbo, ani, earth, and mani, Igbo, mazi, to be pleased. Ancient languages like Greek kosmos versus Igbo, Kwasama, to distribute, Semitic mhr versus Igbo, Mahara, go in front, and Egyptian ntt versus Igbo, intutu itu, to weave, Aku, versus Igbo, Oku, light, hike, versus Igbo, Ike, power, Ma, versus Igbo, Mata, to know, Bu, versus Igbo, Abu, extensive, infinite, are also cited in fringe theories positing Igbo as a proto-language influencing global tongues. Conclusion: Igbo's confirmed relations lie primarily within Africa's Niger-Congo family, where shared words reflect historical and cultural exchanges. Global connections, while intriguing, often rely on superficial resemblances and are not supported by rigorous linguistic evidence. These discussions highlight the fascination with language origins and the Igbo people's rich heritage. For deeper study, exploring comparative linguistics or Igbo dialects can reveal even more nuances.